Welcome to the Algo Hour production meetings. We're talking season 2. We're talking the channel and what we want to do and planning a little bit. And we just want to make the meetings public and collaborative. So I will drop a link if you want to join in. You can definitely do that. How are you,
getting
Ted?
live guests up in here?
I mean, for anybody who wants to weigh in, yeah, we'll definitely open it up and make it so that they can. I almost just copied and pasted the director link though. That would have been awkward.
Come take over.
Right.
Who wants to try their hand?
And I get meetings are not the funnest part of what we all do, but they really do make the world go round. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. It's super exciting stuff. I'm not gonna lie, but let me pull a couple of things up. While we do that, Luca, you want to give us a state of the active? Where are you at with your push-up?
Of the active.
We're on the end of the month. Tomorrow's the last day of January.
So close. Yeah, I think I'm at 940 personally, which I'm pretty happy with. I wanted to blow through 1,000, but man, it's hard. We're at 43 entrants. So
that's good.
Enter now. You have like a 2% chance at over $700 right now USD, and we're at the bottom of the bear. Think we're probably gonna 10x. So you're looking at $7,000 if you know how to hold. You know what I'm saying? Or 10x, and I'm speaking it.
I believe that positive affirmation is not financial advice.
I mean, it's also like a free 700. That is a quality amount of money.
That is a lot of algo. And
I low-key want to win it.
What I love about it is that it's been a bunch of people pitching in. I love a group lift, right?
Oh my gosh,
and there have been so many. I mean, everybody from MJ to Native to Kirby, we got the whole spectrum.
joined in. Typewriter donated. It's unreal how many humans have just let me give you something for you to give to others. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. And all you got to do is one push-up and post it.
One? You can even fail the push-up. I don't even care. Just try.
I did post a push-up failure. And then there have been a few that I took, and I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to post that. It's fine. I did them, though. And I did post at least one. So we're good there. But congrats on that success of that. That's pretty amazing. We are, how many algo did you say?
Oh gosh, I should probably look it up. Let me just
north of 3,000
numbers.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's over 35.
We're north of 35 now.
And I've not posted today's.
Yeah,
it's 35,553. So it's $600 in algo. We have 35,000 Akita, which is $36, and 3,000 Coop, which is $77.
That's amazing.
It's a ridiculous amount. Ridiculous.
That's cool.
And I'll give a 2% chance. Thank you. I'm super excited about it.
Joey, what's new in the dev world?
Yeah, not a whole lot, honestly. Been kind of still banging away on the Till script, the language I've been working on for a while. Very, very close to the official release to that. So, and Patrick from NF Domains recently started using it, so he's been helping me find all sorts of bugs and stuff. So
that's awesome. I mean, I'm equally excited for you, but also kind of sorry. It's like when you have a really skilled anybody come in, it's like, he's gonna, if there's something to find, he's your guy. He will pick it out for you and tell you all about it. Smart guy. Oh, love you, Patrick. Well, congrats, Joe. That's cool. I mean, the language is super cool. It makes me feel somehow well connected to know somebody who created a developer language. That just sounds impressive. I don't know. I hope you tell your parents that. I'm sure they tell their hairstylist and barber and whoever else will listen that their son made a developer language. It's very, very cool. And Teddy, how about you? I know we all saw that my beloved Lions lost.
Good game, though. they lost in pretty miserable fashion, I will admit. Brock Purdy, in all of his normal looking athlete excellence, has been pretty successful. And it's, it seems like death, taxes, and Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl is what's inevitable. Again, shout out to the late, great Tom Brady for being one of the only people to actually beat him in the playoffs in the first place. I think he's sporting a 14-3 record. And he's still, let me see how old this guy is. He is 28. So one would argue that he still has at least 5, if not 10 years left in the league to go keep racking up wins. So that'll be interesting to kind of see how that goes. And then he's going up against Brock Purdy, who was the last pick in the draft 2 years ago. The very last pick. So every pick matters. Just wanted to kind of give that little insight. But overall, everything else is good. Just kind of continuing to watch the football season wind down and the basketball season heat up. And life's pretty good here in Denver. It was cold, and then now it's warm, and now it's cold again. So now I think it's going to be warm later today, though. I will admit. I do declare.
I'm sure that there are, and I'm sure that you will. But while we're talking about planning, are we going to do like an app thingy like we did for fantasy football for March Madness?
Yeah, we can absolutely do that. That'll be a lot easier to handle because all it is just one pick or one. You submit one time, I should say. Mm-hmm. So that's not like with fantasy football where you have to check in every week. You're able to go and just kind of say, hey, I think Kansas is going to win it all, and then kind of fill in the rest, and then that's it. So certainly we can do something with that. I know Mingo is trying to have something in the works. There's a couple things that are brewing with that. You may need shrimp to play, so get on down and buy a bird and do that. I know it's as Stitch tries to be as open and kind of open to the community with a lot of that stuff. I think we're trying to do something trademark. So we'll see on that.
I feel like obviously Algo Hour would be happy to collaborate on whatever that is or help however we can with that. I like March Madness. I like that I can pick a random game on any random day in March and like have something on it. You know what I mean? Like you got somebody to root for.
Yeah.
The individual players of fantasy football, like I didn't understand how my fantasy team did terrible, but I drafted a bunch of Lions because I'm in Michigan and it was a little too much, but I feel like teams I can get behind that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a lot of fun. I think there's never been a perfect bracket, so don't be afraid to lose because everyone does.
Yeah, I dig it. Well, I want to circle back on a couple things because we missed Ted last week for the production meeting, but we were talking about kind of what to call our YouTube channel. Because currently it's me, which is weird. I don't know. It seemed like a good time a long time ago.
You can change it to Ted if you are that uncomfortable.
It's just weird. Well, I have that really great piece of art, the art by Felix did, which is my banner, but I will get another one commissioned from somebody awesome. Luga had this idea, and Joe, tell me if you're offended as a developer. If this name does not offend you as a developer, I am a little partial. I feel like it might be the one. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I'm picking out my wedding dress all of a sudden with this name for the channel. But what do you think of the platform?
The platform. I like it.
I like it.
I feel like we're a fancy apartment complex in a middle income city.
See, to me, I heard like a platform, like very justly what, so many of our developer friends are building, right? Like the Borks have built a gaming platform, and Kirby has built this community platform, and Noti Boy has made this messaging platform, and NFG has made this domain, naming platform. And so I thought it was really clever because it sounds like I belong in blockchain. I'm still trying to sneak in oh, I'm a developer. We're building the platform. But at the same time, I think it's kind of funny because it is giving people a platform to talk about their humanity and share their bits of humanness that kind of makes us all gel as a community. So I really kind of like it. I'm not going to lie. He pitched it right before the start of our show today. but I thought it might offend people who are actually building platforms.
No, I think it's awesome. I like it.
I think it's kind of cool because we're giving people a platform, right?
Exactly.
And we're going to build out all sorts of
Yeah.
ways for people to share, and they could totally post like how to's for their platform on our platform to not have like a weird, minimally watched YouTube channel. So I think it could be really cool. I don't know. Like, I think
I think
that's
so
a
too.
good name. I think we
Because
might have
it
named
also,
the
like-
baby.
Oh,
I don't know. I think so. Ted, what do you think?
I mean-
Can we do better than platform? Do we ask Feely? Do we run it by Feely
I
first?
think, and an audience in the chat, please feel more than welcome to.
We'll say hi to the
to
people here for sure and see
say
what they
something.
think. We got Gov,
Um,
Angel, Maureen, Philosophian, and Lassie. Oh, hi guys. And Little Luga. Hi, Little Luga.
I
Um,
personally like. I was giving a little bit of shade, but I personally really do like the platform as a name. I think it's general enough for someone to be able to go and stumble upon it, and allow us to go and cover a wide range of topics, which we already do. Right? I think it's a good, if we can find a way to streamline how we just like empower creators within the space to go and publish or put out what they want.
Mhm.
Then I think the platform is a really succinct way of saying, hey, I'm going to put it up on the platform.
Okay, here's the big test though. Okay. We have to make sure there's not another channel called that.
You're doing this live, and this is really,
Ooh,
really
bold
like
move.
So my dreams could be crushed, but then everybody will know why I didn't pick it. So the platform, I feel like I don't know what's gonna come up.
Oh, there was that weird Netflix movie. I watched that.
That was 3 years ago and it was a movie.
Is it
That's
called The
fine.
Platform?
Yeah, it
Was
was
it
called
Netflix
The
movie?
Platform. It's like it's really weird.
Like Korean horror film weird?
Yeah,
Like, what are we doing?
yeah, exactly. I don't think it's in English.
Oh, is it
I
like the
don't
violin?
see anything at first glance.
Well, I think that's all the search we need to do. I think that's it.
Yeah, don't do your due diligence here.
I mean,
We'll
I feel
get
like
the
there's
NDA.
nothing obvious. There's nothing obvious that, like, you know.
It's really cool.
Let me
Some-
look
you know.
here.
Am I searching YouTube the right way? Is my question.
I'm doing a search as we're searching, and I'm probably looking really funny because I'm not looking at myself. And
Look funny
I
'cause
mean,
I'm
there's
not looking at
people that are
myself.
calling themselves like their name and then platform after that.
Well,
But
yeah.
the platform
How do I search for channels? Is there a filter?
on Google, you type in the platform, and so there's one that is
352 community of passionate content creators share love
From
of
8
beauty.
their last post was 7 years ago.
Oh, wow. I love
So I
that, but
think-
it's like very specifically like a beauty platform, defining beauty, talking about fashion. Okay.
There's the
That's-
platform NZ, which is I think it's for
those look like they're-
Australian independent media.
I think we might be it, yo. We can just unrug the platform, you know?
I feel like there's a
You have a beauty
few
segment.
projects that have started up, which I mean, it is really easy to make a YouTube channel and make one video and never make another video ever again. Or it's really easy to say that you're going to do it and then not do it because there's a lot of bits that have gone into it. So I finally feel like we're at the spot now where like I can throw you in an OBS thing and then you're not stuck listening to your own interview for, that's intense. It's hard to listen and edit yourself, which is one of the ways I think our live format for the weekly show really works, is because I don't have to go back and edit it. It is what it is. Embrace it. Love it up. Joe, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I really like the name of the platform, and I think all the search results that come up are like pretty old. So
Yeah.
Or
Well,
just,
and there were
really
some,
not
like-
relevant.
I
Yeah.
even liked at one point sitting by myself. I was like TBD, to be announced, or like to be a DGen, like to be determined, like that would work. But there was one that was like putting out content on a regular basis. It just didn't hit my feed. So the platform, Luga, I'm like so impressed with you right now. I can't even tell you. I'm looking for the applause noise because
Trigger the applause.
Sometimes I've got a little intelligence behind the physique, you know?
there's so much intelligence behind the physique. I'm convinced. So another thing we talked about last week, I'm so stoked. I could not be happier that it's just like off my shoulders. So if you are in the chat, I didn't see anybody be like, I really like that.
Yeah, no. Lassie.
I feel like, yeah.
Lassie
Lassie
did
thinks
comment
you
about
have a
Big Brain
brain.
Luga and gave a little heart or a hug emoji.
Aww.
I
that
think that's
counts,
a
right?
positive.
That could
It's a
be applied to
positive
anything.
comment.
Yeah. Well, I read Me Too. Like I thought maybe it was like I like that one too. But then the next coming up was I'm sad about the Lions. And I was like, makes sense. So,
And she would
no,
care about the Lions.
here we go. I think it's great.
History.
Lassie likes it. I think Felia like it too, but I'm gonna consult her. We'll put a pin in it, but like I'm feeling happy about it. I feel like it's got good vibes.
Notwithstanding the source. Dang, Gov. Dang, Gov.
Fair enough.
Rip me.
So the channel will do and what do y'all think about our weekly show? So I was talking to Ted because he got here really early this week. I think it was because he felt bad for missing last week.
For a little behind the scenes, I had a meeting that I didn't think I had. So the guy calls me 9 minutes before the show started and is like, "Hey, where are you?" And I said, "I'm at home." And he said, "What?"
Oof.
So
We're all
It was tough.
winners here. It's okay. But he got here literally very early today and just was sitting backstage by himself. Hanging
well,
out.
I was
That's
gonna
literally-
put on. I was gonna get backstage and then go take a shower, and then I was still sitting here, and then you came in, and I was like, "Well,
Can't
Now
show
we're
over
just
now.
now we're just gonna have a bad hair day for the show. It's a production
feel
meeting
great.
now."
Bro, why do you think I'm wearing a hat?
But
I'm gonna refocus you
me.
guys now to
going back to
hair.
weekly shows,
We're being the beauty
continue.
platform,
Yeah.
IRL. Don't kill
we
the
were
beauty
talking
platform.
about I will totally give y'all my beauty tips. They are bad. The way I put my makeup on has not changed since I was like 16.
I mean, it's clearly working.
It's really dated. But I want to talk about sponsorships for the show. I know I saw Gov in the chat earlier. He sponsored the show last season. It was great. First season, we really wanted to keep sponsoring accessible, right? And I think in the long term, I would love to increase what a monthly sponsorship is, right? But at the same time, before anybody gets their panties in a bunch, I want to keep it the same for our sustaining sponsors who have been here the whole time. I think that would be really cool. So I want to roll it by you guys. What do you think about, especially knowing, there's regular content that comes out at least once a week, but also we're wanting to build that out, of it being like $69 a month instead. Obviously, again, if you were sponsoring for season 2 and you want to continue, you would be like grandfathered in. But like, what do you think? Does that still seem accessible? It's a mean number, so I like it. But
I think before we talk about if like the pricing is acceptable, the reason why we want to have more funds in the first place is to make it a lot easier to have different kinds of content on the channel. And what we mean by that is like just kind of one-off videos and whatnot. And I'm not sure directly how we're going to handle the production on those, but like the gist of it is being able to actually fund and make it possible for like all different kinds of content. So that you could we're shooting, I don't want to give an exact number of hours of content per week, because that feels like a tough benchmark to have. And I don't want to say something and then we'll do a quarter of that, or maybe I'll say something and then we'll do 5 times that. But just to be able to go out and to kind of make it easy for not just the cast, but potentially other people within the community as well, to be able to go and publish content on the platform.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And that's the idea is everybody knows I'm all about the group lift. I love feeling like I can pitch in, but not feeling like the weight of the whole world is on my shoulders or the weight of a whole project. I've always wanted to contribute to the ecosystem, and I think there's a ton of community members who do and kind of wish that they could be everywhere all at once. And I really feel like this is a high tide effort. This helps everyone. And we've had a lot of really great support from our sponsors to date, and it's been great. But we definitely want to, grow our bank a little bit bigger, be able to do some meetups potentially, be able to send some cast out, upgrade equipment. I pay for a lot of sponsor or subscriptions for like video editors and stuff. I need to like get in the big girl seat and like buy, what is it? What do they call it? Help me. Premiere, I think. I don't know. I need to do some of that too, but
yeah,
we need to just like think in a meaningful way. So we started this and we had 250 subscribers roundabout. We have over 600 now. That's pretty cool.
I'm just going to kind of go address the chat here too. Philosophian says we need viewers, and I think that's very correct. I think it's trying to create a positive value proposition for sponsors when having few viewers makes it difficult. Absolutely. And I think we're very aware of that. We're trying to kind of build up the momentum though. And that kind of leads me into Gov's comment, which is I'll quote the whole thing, but purely about me and my interests. So take that for what it's worth. I would like to see sponsorship dollars go directly to promotion of the platform to increase and broaden engagement. And I think that's a very interesting idea that we haven't done as well. We've done very little marketing of of our show in the first place. Even like the most marketing that we do is on Twitter. And if you're not on Twitter, then you don't know this show exists because you're not on Twitter. And obviously, there's some people and some like, some stuff that people that can kind of come and just know when the show is and have caught on to that schedule.
Oh yeah, if you're in Discord with any one of us, you probably right. You hear about it, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I think in part, there's two ways we could go about that, which is one, obviously running just a bunch of Google ads and whatnot, but also finding ways to develop viewerships on past videos as well. So making sure that we can, we're creating a piece of content and it's not just something that disappears the second we go off live, making it less like a Twitch stream and more like a YouTube channel that has content that you feel comfortable going back to. Obviously, I think the big thing that we've really worked on that's been productive and helpful is just the fact that we've gotten so many episodes under our belt with a wide variety of guests and problems that we've had to deal with, both technical and logistical and everything in between. But that's kind of my 2 cents. I kind of talked for a while, but I'll
live
toss the
streaming
mic
is
back
hard.
to the group.
If you have never live streamed, it is hard. And it is very unpredictable. So like even people I consider experts in the field run into stuff. It's unpredictable. And we do something that a lot of people tell me I am crazy for trying, which is doing like a group live stream from people all over experiencing different things. And it does get a little hairy sometimes, but I think we've come a long way on the learning. I think as far as I just wanted to circle back to Gov and Philosophian's comments and just kind of clue them in case they haven't heard some of the other conversations we've had. But the vision for the channel overall is to really be a place that we can share the human aspect of blockchain and kind of what keeps us in our communities, right? Like a lot of the best people I know in the space are not here because they're trying to make money. Like they'd like to make money, but they like are really good friends with so-and-so from here. And like, you know what I mean? You stick around for the people and your belief in the people and what they're building or what they're creating. And obviously the long game is blockchain and it creating a better, providing solutions for these problems that we've had, like systemic problems with financing and banking and regulations and things like that. So there's kind of that long goal, but to get adoption, I firmly believe, and I've gone on about it ad nauseum, so I won't right now, that people are the secret, right? You have to connect the people. And when people look into blockchain as an answer, they need to see other people. People don't want to feel like smart contracts. That's like robots. Like that doesn't want to be the answer. It's the people that believe in blockchain that can help make those connections for that larger mass adoption. So the channel, we're going to go weird on you guys. Like we're thinking season 2, cooking videos, climbing videos, programming stuff. Like we want to build out from the once a week show, which kind of brings me back to the once a week live show, Algo Hour. I think it's great. I think it's great to have something for the space every week. Like it happens. Good times, bad times, my algo hack or not, like there's stuff going on. And I think that that's good, but this show needs to get to a point where it requires less effort on the production end so that we can do the other content and we can kind of build those processes and procedures in place so that Quilt can post up some cooking videos when they're posting it up to their own channel if they want to, or that opportunity is there. But also we talked about last show, having maybe special events, have headline sponsors.
Yeah.
Because like Slow and Steady wins the race, but it's, also really frustrating when costs are expensive. So that's something we talked about too, which I think would not be bad.
Yeah. And I think that's like looking forward, those kinds of sponsorships and not necessarily just saying it's like tiered, but potentially having something where like if it means that we get to go to a Decipher, maybe not a Decipher in Barcelona, but something that may be a little bit more reasonable, like maybe like Atlanta, then that would be very like fit. That'd be a good fit. I think doing that kind of sponsorship for like Luga's Algo Active, a pull-up contest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say less.
I think stuff like that where you can have entire projects say, hey, we don't know how we feel about sponsoring every month because then at some point we're gonna have to stop sponsoring and that's kind of awkward. But here we'll sponsor this event that will have this, anywhere from $150 to $1,000 of a prize, or we'll set up this so that you guys can all go do something like that, or that would be where I feel like there could be a lot of impact on that, right? And it doesn't have to be just a one video thing. I think having that as another alternative would be something that I think I'm interested in, but I think could also serve the channel well.
Right. Yeah. Gov had mentioned something about would we be able to sponsor like a Who Wants to Be a Voyionaire?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, with like trivia questions.
And we've talked about how much fun like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or a Jeopardy would be. I will say the kind of friction that I found was that takes a lot of production work. There's like a lot of setup, even if somebody writes the questions, which they would have to. I can think of all the wrong answers for you if you'd like. I got you covered. But it's like a lot of background production for like a one-off, but then that's there and can be updated again. And like you could potentially have more than one of those. So I'm not opposed to that. I think also like offering to do Q&As for people who want like a moderator for Q&As. We have a really great cast of all sorts of different people that are helpful in their own way. So I think there are ways to kind of build out the sustainability for the channel. We just need to figure out the main friction point. And Joe's just like sitting there. I don't know if he's like got a fidget spinner he's playing with, but he looks really calm. How goes it? Because Joe is thinking up this kind of Band-Aid solution for me because I'm really bad at. I'm not really bad. I really do not like asking people for money, but I'm really good at selling stuff. So like, I feel like we could have more sponsors, but I don't want to have to follow up with them to collect on the bill, right? Like that's like, it's weird. And you should never feel bad. You want to sponsor 1 month, you want to sponsor 2 months. Like it just is a matter of the communication, which makes me uncomfortable and kind of like squeamy and weird. So Joe is working on, he was telling me about it, like essentially like a landing page you could go to, drop your sponsorship payment, and then your file, like the little picture
Your
you want.
logo. Yeah.
Yep. And then it would just show up on a website for me. If you had paid, I would see the applicable logos. Is that right? Did I?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was working on the smart contract for it yesterday, and like coming back to the idea of like how we should price like just like regular sponsor.
Mhm.
I was thinking like one thing that might be useful for like us is because like we were saying earlier, like it's kind of a hard value proposition where like
Right.
we're so early in growth, but we kind of
Mhm.
need that money like upfront to fund things like software licenses and stuff.
Mhm.
That maybe we could offer kind of like bulk sponsor discounts where instead of buying like 1 month at a time, you send the contract like 2.5 months worth, and that gets you like 3 months. So you get like a half month off, and that
Could you
helps.
do that?
Yeah, we could do that, and so that would basically help us get like more money up front, but still offer like it's still like a deal for the sponsors, as long as they believe that the show will grow like we plan
Right.
to, right? So
Well,
that's
and
something that we could do in the smart contract.
I will say, up until now, our sponsors have been really great. There have been no guarantees, no content minimums,
Yeah.
like nothing. And it's just because they all do. They believe in what we're trying to do for the space. And it honestly makes me try harder, right? Because I like don't want people to feel like their faith was misplaced, right? So like we definitely do kind of each do our best and try to step it up when we can in certain places, and these collaborative meetings are really helpful. So Joe, I didn't know you could do that with the contract, but that would be awesome because then that would reduce the friction of me having to send like calendar reminders or something like that to have people remind them to pay it, which is also not really that fun. So yeah, that would be really cool. And I bet that would really help people, that want to just get it off, like not have to worry about it. They definitely want to pay it, but like are very busy people. So
Yeah.
That would be really cool. How would I know on my back end? Like I would love like the back end to be visible for anybody. So if you're like, did I pay my sponsorship? You could go and see who had paid their sponsorship that month. Like it wouldn't be just me with the access to it. I don't know if that's like a thing.
Yeah, basically what I'm thinking of doing is like, so you would go to the page and you would log in with your wallet, like through Para or DFly, whatever. And you basically anyone that logs in will always see like who's sponsoring the show for that week. So I'll automatically load the icons and you can see who's sponsoring. And then also anyone that logs in, you have the option to sponsor the show. So if you sponsor the show once and you log back in with the same wallet, you can like update your icon, update like the name you want us to like read out, update the like amount so you can like top up. And so basically the idea is that it'll be like fully transparent of like who's sponsoring the show and make it available for like anyone to go to. The one thing that we'll need to think about, I don't think it'll be like a problem right now because we have like a relatively tight-knit community. But things like how do we prevent like spam prevention and exactly.
Okay.
I think an easy way to do that is just having minimums for sponsorship, right?
Yeah.
Where like, and I think it could be helpful.
Oh, it would be helpful, Ted.
It would be helpful.
Really helpful. I'm sure he'll come back. I'm wondering, like, it was almost like his phone died. I'm wondering if he's getting a call to us.
Maybe a cat unplugged or something. Oh, there you go.
Oh, where are you? You're here, but not there. You're not backstage. Leave and go back. Yeah. Okay.
Am I here?
Get out of here.
You're still here. Yeah, you're still good.
Okay.
So I am planning. I don't know. Never mind. Ted, you can finish your thought.
Okay. You lost it.
Upcharge for a week, but like obviously like the longer you go, I think having it be at least a week and having it be like, obviously you're right, at some point like $10 is worth it, may be worth it to spam for someone if they're going to do, or like whatever we make that minimum amount. But I think an easy way to resolve that is just look at like transaction history. And if this is a wallet that like has an NFT from like one of the top 50 collections or something like that, then they're automatically verified. Because like if you've gone through and purchased an NFT and you know, then like you've probably done something. And I think, how would this work? My other question was, how would this work with all other ASAs, or if people wanted to give us anything besides Algo?
Yeah, so I mean, we could, like, the smart contract could technically, like, we could add support for any of the ASAs.
Yeah.
What might just be easier is like on the website, just like integrate like a swap widget from like another platform, so that way you can. It's not us actually handling the swaps, but it's kind of all at one place that you do everything.
Like they send Coop, but it automatically flips into Algo.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that idea because like currently the show will accept donations in any token. You can drop it to our NFT vault. No problemo. But we've been only accepting Algo and USD because I don't want to get in the game of like what's it worth when, and like, you know, some of them are worth nothing. Some of them you can manipulate to make it look like they're worth something, and then they really aren't. So it just has seemed safer to keep it Algo and USD for those sponsor spots that we're referring to. But I think also kind of just taking a second to kind of outline what we think that is, right? So like up until now, there's been no guarantees, but I have tried to put our sponsor bar on everything that we publish.
Yeah.
I can continue to do that, but if people post stuff outside of, you know what I mean? Like it's easy
it adds
to
another
slap it on
hurdle.
something.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, obviously if we continue doing the weekly show, that's like the main pull for that. But again, I just haven't made any promises. It's like, oh, well, I'll try to put it on as much as I can. Right. And I didn't want to leave our sponsors kind of in this weird middle ground while we're getting our heads together and kind of giving the community, you know, an opportunity to weigh in on how we do it. You know, they're not up there now, but I do like that our sponsors spots are one size fits all, right? Like it's like really fair. It's really affordable. It's really fair. So I would say like we can just do the math on what a week is so that I can check it once a week before the show, make any updates if I have to, because the sponsor spots have been including that little icon at the bottom, but it's also included in our credits reel, which I think is cool. Like it just seems very official. I don't know if people really care or not. I'd be interested to hear from our sponsors, but that is another piece that needs updated, right? Every week then, if that changes, if those decals change, that credit reel needs updated. So I'm not opposed to doing it like weekly, but we would maybe like
just finding ways to handle that friction. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
And looking at like, I think we need to be more transparent or upfront, I should say, about like what directly would we use the money for now? Like, let's say we get 10,000 Algo airdrop to us from 10 sponsors, right? Who are all prepaying for 4 months, 5 months, or something like that. What does that money immediately go towards? I think that's a good question to ask, and also for us to be able to succinctly answer.
Yeah. Well, and I think that we really kind of try to decide as a group, like what we spend money on and what we do. We give most of what we get away, obviously. But also we have made contributions to the open source video conferencing system that we use. We have paid people for little tasks here and there or tipped them for being helpful. When we got our Coop airdrop donation, half of it went to the cast, half of it went to our viewers. And that's really the only compensation the cast has ever gotten, was like something somebody donated and we split it half and half, which was really fun. And I would love to be able to do that. You know, the software licensing is something that we all, I'm sure, have too many subscriptions on our credit cards every month, but like I have like 3 for the show alone. So like offsetting some of that would be nice, but I don't know how to do that effectively, honestly. Like how to offset it doesn't make sense to me. So subscriptions, they don't really like, mine are all monthly. I can look into it and see if maybe I can get your bundles. Some of them you buy once and are done with it. So I would honestly love to make a goal, and I think we could maybe do some crowdfunding for specific things. But I think one really fun thing would be to like maybe in April, May, end of April, early May, even maybe into June, I'll go to Iowa. I think that would be really fun. Taco's opening a restaurant.
Just
And
so
I just think it would be fun to randomly have like an unrelated
Taco
AlgoFam meetup
Yeah,
at a
that makes-
restaurant that's owned by an AlgoFam member that you can pay for. We could go and pay for tacos and crypto. I just think that would be really cool. And it's like a no name, like, no offense, taco. It's like a no name place in town, and like it just would be bizarre. Like it'd be something I bet Joe has never done for work. Right?
That would be
Never
true.
been to Iowa, right? Or Idaho.
I think, and those kind of like, I think the crowdfunding component to that would be another, like, I don't know how easy, Joe, would be to just like add it in so that you can access the notes field in the transaction. And then you can say, hey, use this for, Ted to get a haircut, right? Or something like that. Or it can be specific to one thing. Kind of in the same way, like how there's like all these football programs in colleges, they have alumni that specifically donate to the football team. I think that could serve as a good way to help the community kind of direct where we're going as well, and provide content that people want. And shout out to Taco for coming into the chat just now as being late.
I think that may be helpful for some. Money would be donated NFTs that the platform can liquidate, sell in exchange for single-time sponsors or longer. So I don't necessarily really understand that. I know a lot who support this.
So what Gov is suggesting is that we are
really
Goodwill.
How would we liquidate them?
Yeah,
Donate your mango and we sell it.
We're Goodwill, where they can donate our stuff and then we'll mark it up at a discount or something. But
We could have like
there's
a
a difference.
Algo Hour wallet, and whatever people donate into, then you could like shuffle into it.
So yeah,
So
and
it's like
I ran into
like
that.
a yard sale junk store.
That would be fun. I mean, it would be fun, but the only platform that does that
is AXN.
Is on, yeah. I'm currently boycotting secondary sales from. So it's just my personal money. I'm choosing not to spend there. I also choose not to spend my personal money at Walmart and I've not been doing that for 20 plus years. I can avoid secondary on AXN. Trust me, I can.
Denver Broncos owner, Walmart.
So let's see. So I think if the problem is there's no way to send an NFT to a vault with a note, because like we were given a elite,
true.
remember, by oh my god, I'm the worst. I feel so terrible.
Coachy.
No, it wasn't true. It was
Snark?
He changes his name all the time. It's not fair.
Rover?
He changes his screen name all the time. No. Anyways, we got no, it was not her. Schmitty. Yes, it was Schmitty. He changes his screen name all the time though. Sorry. But he wanted us to give it away, right? He didn't want us to sell it. Because I was like, man, that ape's worth a lot of money. Like, are you sure you want me to just give that to one person? We could sell it and like keep some for the show, give some away, and it would be like a win-win. So yeah, Schmitty, Step Bro is the new one. Yes.
No.
I love everybody weighing in. Taco says he loves everything about the show. Oops, hanging out. He thinks we should just sell calendars and call it a day. I'm not opposed to that. Luga's on board.
I'm on.
But this brings me to my next bit. So we talked about the sponsor spots. I think more or less we'll probably stay with that same, like what it includes is the sponsor bar and then a credits reel.
Can I throw in an addition? So I want to do in February, I want Algo Active sponsors. We got a ton in January, just like people wanted to donate, but I want it to be like kind of targeted in February. So like if you donate or sponsor me, then I will advertise you in the Algo Active of that day or that week, right? So if you're Voy and you sponsor, then I'll hashtag Voy in my post, or I'll like put a Voy logo in it. Just a way to because I'm pumping the Algo Active every day, so I would also pump your whatever you want me to advertise.
Joe needs to build us a platform for the platform that we can just like copy paste the same contract and change it to different wallets. So it's like Algo Active donations are like this URL, but like it'd be a different link if you wanted to sponsor the show. It's kind of like a dummy solution, just like, you know what I mean? But like it would put them into separate bins so that you could look and see who's sponsoring Algo Active. Or so my husband gave me this idea, and I'm going to regret saying it out loud on the show, but I said I would. And I think it would be really funny. But also I think it would be something that like might get people clicking on it from outside of our ecosystem, because Algo Hour is for the Algo fam, right? But like the additional content we want to put out is to like,
so
like
you're never going to guess what she's about to say.
Trick people into watching, right? Like astrology, they're gonna be like, what is this? Like, yes, this video from Feely is awesome, I want to subscribe. And then they look at the channel and see developer stuff and be like, what? Like, we're gonna pull people in like that, I think. But my husband said, I bet you get a lot of sponsors and views if you did like a blockchain and bikinis event. And my mind instantly went to Luga and Ted and Joe in bikinis. And I was like, we should totally do that. Like, I would be down if like y'all were doing it.
Situation here.
I mean, it's on brand for me.
I would rather go topless than wear the bikini.
Joe will dress like a bull dressed in a bikini.
That's hilarious.
Right?
Oh
the bull could be wearing a bikini. But anyways, those types of headline sponsorships for like special events, we could definitely do and still give props to people who want to support our like daily kind of work. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential for like poker night events and all sorts of things. So I think having those headline sponsors would be cool. But again, it brings up that there's a lot of like front end work on that, like that you have to do first to do like a first episode. And then it's a lot easier after that for like these special type segments we're talking about.
Taco Coin in the chat saying what I exactly said, the Borat type bikini for the men.
Oof.
I was horrified when Ted sent me what that was, because I did not know.
That was my suggestion before the show. And she goffed. She Coco goffed all over the place. But we'll let that marinate a little bit, guys. Again, my 2 cents on it.
About the platform, like first of all, and
a lot
I
of
do
front
know a
end
few
work.
people
What
are
you gotta
working.
say?
Oh, go ahead.
Coming at you, oof.
But yeah, it'll be fun. I think when it comes to the platform branding itself, we need to kind of sit down as a group and think like, what colors do we want? What like, do you, obviously I don't think we want it like in cursive, but what is that like logo look like?
Yeah.
And going from there.
And if you have ideas, and you're not like in our core group of crew here, definitely send them to me. I think, what do we think about keeping the hour live show Algo Hour?
Yeah,
I think the name is cute. I think it's okay that we talk about stuff outside of Algo. Like, I think I have yet to hear somebody complain about us talking about an XRP or a Voy or whatever. And I just think it's kind of cute. Like, it has a special spot in my heart, the Algo Hour, for the live show.
One comment that I'm just coming to now, Joe, would it be possible to just like, not to just profit off of your work or anything, but use that same system that you're building for NFT projects to pay their developers?
Joe's going to white label it for us.
Yeah, essentially a white label service where we could take maybe 5% off the top, and that would serve to just essentially fund having reoccurring revenue that isn't just based on sponsorships necessarily.
Right. Yeah.
We just turned Joe into a franchise. Is that?
And yeah, yes and no. I mean, obviously, I think if we get to that level, then like one of the things that really could start happening is compensation for the cast, and especially you, Joe, where if you're putting in
Right.
actual man hours developing, then, you know, I think that you should get compensated and paid for that. So that's kind of where my head's going with that. And I wanted to kind of hear your thoughts, or if white labeling just gets it too complicated where that may not be kind of what you're thinking, or what.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
mean,
they'll open repo the code, right?
yeah, and we can make it accessible. The hard part is if we do like officially white label it and try to like productize it. Really, the hard part isn't like the initial development, but it's just like support from thereafter. Like that's the really time consuming thing. So that it might be hard to offer it as like a compelling like product, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, in general, it's definitely something that like could be reused, and we'd have to think about like what the best way to like make it reusable, but also like keep it tied to the show in some capacity would be.
Yeah, I think one big time goal that it would be great to have a sponsor for would be the development of a website where a lot of this could naturally be kind of hosted and just,
I
you know,
would love that.
Like everything's there. And not only that too, like with the sunsetting of the Warp and Weft, being able to go and say, hey, maybe, you know, if obviously Medium exists, but if you would want to try and, you know, we have written content there, right? And not having anything be super complicated, even if it's something as simple as just like,
I love a good website, like with the embedded YouTube videos, like bloggers that put all their YouTubes on their website. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Embedded videos. It's a thing. But like that, and to just share the mission of the show and how to get on the show and how to sponsor and like those frequently asked questions. You also need a website to be able to apply for like pitch competitions and stuff, and like to get access to things as a project. You have to have like a project website, which we have not had because we've never been able to name the baby. So I'm really excited about that. Now, Joe, would it be well advised for me to like tinker around on a website builder, or am I best to leave that to the experts?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It really depends on like how complex you want it, because there's site like something like Squarespace that makes it like super easy to build a site that we could definitely leverage. Because like even myself, like I'm not a web developer. Like our sponsorship platform, it's not going to be very pretty, to be honest. It'll work, but that's not my expertise. We're obviously like, if a site for the show, like where people can learn about it, we want it to look nice. So I think a good first step would be looking into something like Squarespace that makes it easy. I used
Square a million years ago, so I'm sure it's not that different now, but that's not a technical barrier. Like I could try to get on a website builder and play around.
There's some good domains that are available too for the platform.
Really?
Yeah, you could do the platform.media for $50 a year. But stuff like that. So we can figure that out more on our time while I'm at least reading all of this. But I think the way that makes the most sense to me is just developing the basic website ourselves, just with like a website builder. And I think just getting a product, something out there, and then from over time, we can kind of continue to work and tinker with it and just go from there. I mean, like, right. Cause if
I mean,
like
that's the ethos of the show. Yeah. We screen recorded Discord calls, our first episodes. Like it was real rough. And I'm not saying that we have all the answers or we're like this big shot production now. But I will say it's been a really fun learning process so far. And I'm impressed with us. Like I'm proud of what we do for the community. I'm proud that we all get our shit together enough every week to put it on and get it together. And it's been really great. I miss Feely. We got to get Feely's place she works to hire some more people so she can have her days off, dang it. But yeah, I'm just huge thanks to everybody. If you are thinking, man, I really wanted to weigh in on something, or I think they should do this, or I want to help with that, I'm wanting to build out a bounty list for contributor credits. I don't know if that's going to really be like anything like that people want to do, but just to say like, hey, these are things that we could use help with. One of which is like hashtags, what do they call it? SEOing, and then timestamps on a lot of content and things like that. Just like cleaning up those little things on the bounty board, maybe a new logo, like stuff like that. Like what Joe's building, like we could have put about, although I did try to put a bounty out for that. It didn't, poor Joe got stuck doing it because I couldn't find anybody else to do it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of really cool stuff we could do. It's just about building it out and building it out now that we can run shows. And I feel more confident that I'm not going to rug you all on a live show, right? Because the first few, I was like really, I don't know.
It's been a while, honestly.
Can you like pull it up on your phone and make sure it's working? But like, yeah, I want to talk to the guy who makes our video conferencing software. I'm sure I could do more with that. And I'm just starting to like tap that. And so hopefully we'll be bringing in viewers from outside of Algorand, talking about other things that we're passionate about. And blockchain being kind of that central glue that keeps us all together and hanging out. So that's kind of my thought. Checking the calendar, I think we're going to do at least one more week of meetings, and then the following week, maybe like I almost said Halloween, maybe like a Valentine's Day special. I don't know, kick off something fancy. But we need you. If you're not helping with the show and you're thinking like, I could write some limericks and help Luke out, or I could do this and help Joe out, let us know. I appreciate you all big time. Some final thoughts, Joe. Where are you at on that? When can I play with it and test it? And
probably later this week. So I got the smart contracts squared away, and just need to put the front end on it, and then we'll have to make some decisions like the pricing and how that'll all work. But you'll at least have something to play with this week.
I have a feeling maybe leaving it where it's at for now. But I do want to find a way to reward the people, like the sponsors that have really been sustaining, right? They're in and out. It's big motivation. And I almost forgot, Luga. Jaws did push-ups, 49 of them.
He did 49. Yeah, we got him. We got the Jaws. He's on the winner board, and I hope he wins. Which the winner reveal is going to be really fun. I'm working on a great idea for you. I might do it live.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, get with me. If you want to do it live, I can definitely like help somehow with that. I'm sure as your producer, I'm sure I can help with that.
Yes, producer.
And Joe did the whole iron active challenge, which was like really impressive. I know Haruf was replaying the footage of my iron challenge the other day. I was getting some feedback on it, and I was like, get involved. It's so much fun to just like try and do it. So I was stoked to see that Jaws did that. So Luga, we're wrapping up tomorrow on that. Tomorrow's the last day to officially get in.
Yeah. 31st will be the last day, and then I'll post the list of names in case I missed anyone, and then we'll do the draw on the 1st.
Very cool. Teddy,
wild.
Any final thoughts for now? I appreciate you making it and helping me.
We've got a guest in the green room. If you've missed that.
Oh, we did. I missed it. Who is it?
He's just hanging out, making faces at you.
Billy. Hey, how you doing? We'll pull Billy up.
Billy. Who's
I don't know.
Billy? Billy?
Let me see.
What are you, 17 again, Bill?
I love it. Do you guys know? I wonder if
I don't think anybody
know who I'm talking about. I just got to get the link. Who's Billy? She says.
She was asking about all of you.
Fine. That's so funny. All right. I think I did it. I don't know. We'll see. There he
Do we
is.
have it? We have
There he is.
Billy.
Doesn't have a blue background, but we did it.
Hmm.
How are you?
How are you?
Good. Do you have any thoughts? I remember when I first started Algo Hour, you sent me a report card on it. You sent me like a good, bad, and ugly write up. So let's hear it. I need an update now. It's second semester.
I
finals time.
think that I like the production meetings. It's cool. It's nice way for people to participate and give you some feedback. I think you should do them periodically. I liked listening along. Good, bad, and ugly. If you really want one real time, I'm happy to give you
Yeah,
one. But
absolutely.
I
I'm
don't know
scared,
if
but
that's-
yes.
All right.
I'll
The
thicken my
good is
skin
that
for
you
it.
haven't quit. You've kept going and you've pushed through it, and the production is fantastic compared to the first one I graded for sure. And you have a really loyal set of co-hosts that put a lot of effort in, and I think they should be applauded for doing so as well.
Where's my camera?
The bad is that you don't have the engagement that you had been shooting for
Mhm.
quite yet, and I think that's a mix of the market is trash and it's hard to get people excited about it. And I think that, and you talked about it being a little bit more deliberate with if you want engagement. Unfortunately, you kind of have to, there's grinding, there's sweat, but there's also just money, and so you do kind of have to buy some of your engagement. And the ugly is, I mean, your audience includes people like Haruf. I mean, that's just awful. So I don't know how you're going to overcome that, but someday you'll get past it.
It's what's on the inside that counts, I think.
Yep.
They were tested.
He's got to get
I
hard.
heard.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for popping
I just
in.
wanted
I
to
know
say
you've
hi.
been a long
Think you're
time
doing a good job.
sponsor of the show, and I appreciate it. I think that we will definitely, I know Chris has reached out to me. He's been a sponsor in the show. You guys are building Boy, which is very cool. It's kind of like the first alternate AVM, which is cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate you big time. And I'm digging it's beard season for the boys in Boy. Everybody's got a beard.
Everyone at Boy has a beard except Shanti, and I'm happy that she's keeping that real. So.
Well, if you have any feedback, I know you said you like the platform for the channel identity. I feel like that's just such a huge weight off of my chest. Like naming the baby has been this huge thing. It's good, right?
Yeah, I love it. Cool
we
name.
did some due diligence and research, making sure nobody else was using it. It's recorded on the record.
I saw that. That was an impressive level of due diligence.
I know. I have lots of practice. Well, I appreciate you. For anybody who wants to know what Gov is up to, there is a public meeting. Boy does all of their stuff radically transparent. So there's a public governance council meeting tomorrow at noon EST, and he's always there. And you can see him and his beard live in action during that meeting if you'd like. But thanks for coming by. I appreciate you.
Yep. I just want to say hi. See you later.
I guess. All right. I'll let everyone go. You're free to go. Sorry for keeping you a little late after class, but I feel like the teacher's report card was cool. It was an added bonus.
It was this quality, yeah. He didn't roast me. I'm kind of confused.
Gov is always very honest with me. And I feel like typically there's not a lot of kid gloves used. He's very direct and honest.
Yeah.
So I was a little scared, I'm not going to lie, when I was like, let's go. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's lots of love and respect. All right, Teddy, Luga, Joe, I appreciate you guys. Everybody who came to help and kind of bounce ideas off of us in the chat, I appreciate you. Next week, we've got one more week of kind of meetings. You'll have a chance to join if you want to, but definitely don't hesitate to DM me or the cast in the meantime, and if you want to get involved. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Bye.